Hello there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another TGIF Talks, episode 90, I believe. I'm 99% sure it's 90. Pretty sure it's episode 90. Yes, episode 90, joined by my co-host, Anonymous Phil.
Yeah.
Alright, roll the intro.
Wouldn't you like to get away?
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
And they're always glad you came.
These podcasts are broken down into 4 parts. First we have how our weeks have been, followed by the news, followed by your comment, followed by a random fourth topic. I have an idea for today's random fourth topic, but I keep forgetting it. I will remember it eventually. So before the podcast happened, the world fell out of the sky for me. Hello?
Yes.
So,
Continue.
alright. So, freaking annoying universe, alright? I'm watching a video, waiting for you to join. You join. I go to pause the video. The video stops, and like half transparent with the video was the blue screen of death. Windows just crashed. I don't know why. I don't know how. It just crashed. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. And in that process of crashing, it wiped all of my Streamlabs settings. I don't know why, because I'm logged in. Those should be saved. But nope, they were gone. Just gone. So I had to spend, I don't know, looks like 20 minutes, if maybe 30 minutes, playing with Streamlabs, trying to get to capture all of the audio that I had set up previously, which it had wiped all the inputs, and I forgot that it wiped my inputs, and I had to unplug and replug my webcam because Streamlabs didn't recognize it. Then I got it to recognize it after unplugging it and plugging it back in, and then this didn't recognize it, so I had to plug it and plug it back in. It was a hassle, and I don't know what happened. And I pisses me off because it's like any moment, just things could just fry, and I have no control over it. And there's also just motherboard lights that aren't on at the moment that kind of concern me that they're not on. But we're going to ignore that, and we're just going to continue on with this podcast. So there's more to tell about. That was just in the past 20 minutes. But as for, let's begin with, how was your week?
Well, we caught a parasite.
It's just not a parasite. You have a cold.
Oh, there's something that's not meant to be a part of me. That's a part of me. A parasite.
A parasite. I don't think
Some parasitic organism is attacking me, and we're slowly either defeating or losing to it. Only time shall tell.
I mean, you're getting better, right?
Yeah, one could say.
One could say.
That's just what they want you to think. We may be winning this battle, but the war is far from over.
What drugs are you on?
Just Mucinex.
Oh, I'm telling you gotta get some Dayquil and NyQuil. That will solve your problems. Trust me. And you gotta be downing cough drops like they're candy. That's how I fix all of my That's how I fix everything. Is Mucinex, Dayquil, and because like I had done Mucinex in the past and it just didn't work, and then I tried Dayquil, and oh my god, that stuff worked fantastically well. I think I might have been partially high off of it, but it worked fantastically. I got the pills too, which are kind of big, but it's whatever. Whatever floats the boat to get things fixed. And oh, Dayquil fixed things. Oh, Dayquil is a beautiful drug. You don't want to take NyQuil, before going to work because, well, it's NyQuil.
Right?
It's supposed to make you pass out, so you got to take the Dayquil.
Oh,
Fixes issues. And then you just got to take cough drops like they're candy. Like every 30 minutes, just pop a cough drop. That's what I do. And it works. Oh, and I also
we'll see.
down multivitamins.
That helps with the cold?
Yep. Anything your body is missing, I make sure it has it, and anything it might think it might need, I give it. So it needs extra
We'll
sleep,
see.
I go to bed early. Needs extra water? Oh, I'm drinking gallons of water. It needs extra
Gallons.
food?
Like
Yeah,
2 or 3?
I wouldn't say that much, but yeah, I drink a lot of water when I'm sick. I drink water, I try and get sleep. I try not to do stupid things, but, it's whatever. Stupid things happen.
Yeah, that's kind of inevitable for me.
Yeah.
That's kind of just my life.
We'll talk about the stupid things in the third segment when it comes to the future of the channel, because I have stupid things planned.
My ideas, partially. I'm sure I had some input.
Actually, no.
Oh, no. That's a first.
Unfortunately, I forgot I had videos planned all the way to June, and so, these videos, which I'm really excited to do, I'm not going to do till July. And I'm like,
Oh, so this video's coming out in July?
no, it's going to get recorded in July. It won't go out till...
No, I'm talking about this one.
Oh, no, this one will go out literally Friday.
Priorities.
Well, the podcast, since we do the news, they have to be, And today we're doing a micro podcast since Phil is sick. So we're going to try and keep each segment under 10 minutes, or at least we'll try.
Yeah. We're going to wrap things up around 8.
Yeah. Well, okay. Anyways, so we'll get to that. Well, that's the third segment. So the wrap up my week. So this guy, the part timer at work, he's quitting. He's moving to Kansas, in May after he graduates. He's gonna graduate and then he's shipping down to Kansas. God bless him. Our boss and she doesn't listen. Let's talk. Damn it. So last week, they decide, hey, you know what? Let's put the job application out to the public and just see what happens. It's like, what do you do when you get a candidate that you like? What are you going to do with them for the next month and a half while, next month, 2 months, while you still have now you're going to have an extra employee. Well, anyways, she gets somebody that she likes and she schedules an interview. Doesn't tell anybody, except for the other full-timer. And she shows up. They have the interview. I'm not there. If it wasn't for the fact that I overheard the phone call and that I've been asking people about it, I would be completely in the dark. Can you, have you ever had a manager just not tell you something? Hello? Phil?
Oh, sorry.
Have you ever just had a manager just not tell you something?
Yes.
Something important like, hey, we're hiring somebody new.
Not really. Well, usually it's just mainly because I just didn't ask or it didn't come up or when they wanted to tell me I wasn't working and then, when I went in, it just was at the top of their mind to say and, then when I find out it's like, oh, by the way, there's this. Oh, gee, thanks for telling me.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to it, just never got around to it, just one of those ordeals, but it was never intentional.
So, in this situation, it's really annoying because in this situation, it's really annoying because, sorry, she hasn't really told anybody. And I went up to the guy, to the closing crew today. I'm like, let's make a bet. How long is she gonna go without telling us about the new employee? Because she passed everything, so that I'm aware of. So it's only a matter of time before, hey, here's your first day. And I'm
so like they were hired or they had an interview?
So she had the interview Thursday. She passed the background check. She passed the credit check. And the manager wants to hire her.
And this is for that position that you want to get into.
No. This is for the other part-timer.
Oh, the person that's leaving.
The person's going to Kansas, but he hasn't left yet.
Oh, and so they hired someone for his position.
Right. But we're going to have her for 2 months. Like, what are we supposed to do with her for 2 months? We can't train her. Right. But, like, she doesn't need 2 months of working side by side with somebody. You need, like,
well, it depends how many hours she's working. If she's working, like, 10 hours a week.
She's going to be working, like, 30, because that's, like, the minimum.
Oh, never mind.
So it's like, you don't need to work side by side somewhere. And it's like, what? Especially when you're just a teller. So I'm just like, what? And again, the manager hasn't told anybody. I've only know because I overheard and I asked questions. But all of us are too afraid to ask her. Because, like, if we ask her, she's going to be like, oh, why do you need to know? And
really?
Oh, yes. It happened. The other full-timer had a meeting with her this morning because he was on vacation. He came back. And so they spent like an hour and a half in her office just getting caught up. And he asked her about the new hire, and she just stonewalled him. Didn't say a word. And just stared at him. I'm like, tell us what's going on.
You're being replaced.
If it wasn't for everybody else, I would have no idea who this person is. They would show up to the branch and walk behind the counter. I'd be like, excuse me, do you work here? And she'll be like, yes.
Actually, yes.
And I'll be like, when was I going to get told? It's just like the time our cousin got divorced and I didn't find out till like a month later. Months later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's the same situation. This time I don't have a shrink to calm me down.
Yeah, that reminds me. Why weren't you at the funeral?
What funeral?
Wait, you didn't hear?
Who died? No, it seriously happened.
How many more things do you keep missing?
I don't know.
Like, I don't think you showed up to the New Year's party.
What New Year's party?
Exactly. You weren't there.
See, this is I don't know what I see, but the thing with the cousin thing, that was because she told my dad, and she thought he was gonna tell me, and my dad thought she was gonna tell me, so nobody told me.
Perfect.
It's like you could write this crap in a movie, and people are like, oh, I don't believe that. Suspension of disbelief. I can, you see the miscommunications in movie, like, I can't believe that. I hate it, but I can believe it because it happens to me.
Yeah.
In the movies, it's a bit more dramatic than this, but like...
Yeah, usually it's like a funeral.
Probably. But in this case, it's like, what? Why?
Wait, Dad died? When was this?
My dad's dead? He's been gone for like a year. Like,
He's been gone for like 3 years.
Oh, I would know. Because I owe him money for insurance. So I would know.
No, you'd just be sending him money in the mail and
I'm not
no one would be
sending
collecting.
$1,000 in the mail. Are you insane?
Or like you leave it on the counter for him to pick up and Will's like, ooh, money. Don't mind if I do.
That's more realistic. That's actually what would happen. I leave the money on the counter. It says insurance from Doc. And
Will's just like, Ooh, money. Don't mind if I do. Lunch money.
Yeah, he could buy lunch money for his like college career with that as well. Anyways,
Thanks, fam.
suppose it's
Send you a thank you card.
I suppose it's time to move on to the next segment since you're sick. News segment time. The news. We're gonna keep the news short. There's only one article that I decided to pick out, and it's breaking. Like this is fresh. This is as fresh as it gets. Are you looking at the screen right now? Or are you looking away?
Yeah, I'm just completely avoiding my phone right now.
Oh.
Kidding.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, are you seeing? So the Webb telescope, they have it aligned. And so, what?
Yeah.
And so this is like that. This is like their first photo they took with it. What's crazy?
Oh, so they don't have 18 pictures of the same thing.
No. So what's crazy about this is this star is like it's nowhere near visible to the human eye, but look how bright it is in this photo. It's bleeding into the rest of the photo with how bright it is. That's how sensitive Webb is, and it's so sensitive that see this smudge here?
Mm-hmm.
That's a galaxy. Most of these are galaxies with incredible definition. They're not even trying to look at these. Dr. Becky was oodling over this. Anyways, so then here, this looks fake, but this is the pinhole camera selfie thing that they have set up on the Webb. And this is the old one over here. And so you can see all the mirrors are misaligned, and now they're perfect. Which is absolutely crazy. Now, this is only one sensor. This is only like the near visible sensor. This is the one that's in red. They've still got like 3 more sensors to prepare. And I think she said its resolution is 24 times greater than the current space infrared telescope.
Which is Hubble?
No, infrared, not visible.
Well, I thought Hubble did infrared too.
I don't think so. I bet they have better. Well, she didn't mention it, so I'm assuming this other telescope is way better than Hubble for visible.
I see.
Which this is crazy. The way the James Webb Space Telescope is absolutely insane. What it's going to be able to do. I really wish the extremely large telescope was going to be up and running soon, so we could do like comparisons with it. But unfortunately, it won't be ready to go till like what 2030s, I thought. Or no, 2025. That's what it was.
Ways to go.
Yeah. I mean, 2025 isn't as far as we thought, as originally thought, but but like the issue with like I wonder, I was thinking how big of a ground-based telescope can we make? And ground-based telescopes are going to have their limits as we get more and more like Starlink and OneWeb satellites in orbit. So it's like, what's our next move? Where do we go from here? James Webb took decades. It was worth $10 billion, and it's huge. It's massive, but it's nowhere near as big as like the extremely large telescope. And so it's like, can we put a telescope like that one in orbit? I wonder, do you think it's possible to like ship like 10 James Webbs into orbit and like have them like hooked together?
Oh, I don't know.
So like the mirror just assembles itself. I mean, with current technology, it's not possible. But as we are able to get humans into orbit more easily, I think we could send like 10 of these up into orbit, send them out to L2. We send an astronaut crew out there, and they go and assemble this giant behemoth of a telescope, like huge. Like the torque on this thing is going to be stupid. That's going to be the big issue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the heat shield. You might as well, because you can't build it on the moon because the moon's going to be in the sun. It's not constantly dark.
Hmm.
You would need you would have to build something that's tidally locked with the sun. So
Yeah.
that you could properly do this, which is what L2 is essentially. You're tidally locking it to the sun.
Yes.
But God, I don't know. It's very science fiction-y, but I mean, it's possible. And just imagine. I mean, I don't know. Like, does science need a telescope with that? Like, it would really, all it would be really good for would be searching for exoplanets.
Yeah.
Because we don't really.
And anomalies.
Huh?
And anomalies.
Yeah. Because we don't need it. Because, like, James Webb is going to satisfy looking at the deepest part of the universe. I mean, increasing your resolution by a stupid amount would be awesome, but it's probably not necessary. But the ability to study exoplanets with an even bigger one, that could seem feasible. But I also think with a telescope that size, I think you'd also need something that will allow you to go and explore those other planets, you know? I don't want to invest what could probably be $1 trillion into an instrument if I can't go and explore other if I can't go to those places, you know? Hey, look, we found a planet that has intelligent life because of such and such emission lines in the atmosphere of one of the planets. Great.
Yeah. It's 84 million light years away.
That's Andromeda. I mean, we have detected exoplanets in other galaxies, but that requires a pulsar, so I doubt we'll be seeing any intelligent life on such a planet like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's very, very interesting. Where do we go from here? I mean, obviously, I would love to keep building bigger and bigger telescopes in space, but you also have the question: is there a point? And I was thinking today, is it possible that humanity could send humans to another star system? You know, like cryo freeze them or whatever. Send them to another star system, but before they even get there, humans have beat them there.
I don't know.
Like, technology progressed so fast while they were gone that we developed warp drive technology, and so we were able to get there within a matter of days. And so the humans get there, and it's like, hey, it's 20 years into, it's 50 years in the future or whatever, something stupid. Oh, we beat you here. I would choose to hope that we would go and get them. We would go and grab them and then bring them home or take them all the way there or something. So, it's not just like wake up 50 years. Yeah, sorry, bro. You don't get all the fame to be the first humans on another star. You know? I don't know. That's what I would choose to believe, but hard to say. And I was thinking about, actually I just thought about something. I watched a video and they were talking about solar panels. You still listening?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So they're talking about solar panels in space and how NASA said Jupiter is about the furthest we can push it with solar panels. They're like, we could consider Saturn as a possibility. But it would be really stretching what's currently feasible and what would technically is feasible for a solar panel. Beyond that, you have to go nuclear. And I was thinking about, what if there's these organisms, right, living in the methane pools of Titan? And I'm like, so if there's that little that little sun at Saturn, so on Titan, and with Titan having an even thicker atmosphere, there's even less sun. Is chloroform, not chloroform, are chloroplasts sensitive enough to continue to make food so that some sort of living thing could use sunlight as a form of food? And I don't think so. What do you think? Do you think the living things on Titan will use the sun for food like plants do here on Earth? Or do you think they'll use something else?
No, I think I think there'd be some sort of photosynthesis going on, provided there's enough light.
But that's like, if solar panels are barely viable in the vacuum of space around Saturn, think about an atmosphere 2 times denser than Earth's. And very cloudy and just, it's not a good, it's very, ugh. I don't,
Well, so solar panels don't work there.
they don't work, they work around Saturn, not very well, but they can work. I just don't think solar panels would work on the surface of Titan. Which makes me
No,
think,
they probably would. Yeah.
which makes me think they would be using like what those living things do at the bottom of the ocean around those hydrothermal vents. They use the geoheating from Saturn that causes Titan to get squeezed. The gravitational, oh god, the tidal forces from Saturn
Yeah.
to heat the planet.
Yes.
And I think to heat the moon. I think they'll be using those for as like photosynthesis.
That's heat.
Right. Well, the things at the bottom of the ocean, they have no sunlight, yet there they are, existing, living.
Eating other organisms that are down there.
Right. All these organisms live and they have no access to sunlight. They don't eat organisms that have access to sunlight. They only eat organisms that are around these hydrothermal vents, which means that these things have to be there's a food chain. So there has to be so they're using thermal radiation, infrared light, as a way to make food, and then they are eaten, and then something eats them, and so on and so forth.
I guess the only thing is, Titan, does it have any volcanic activity? None, right?
I don't remember.
Because I'm just curious how life could have even started. The first, I guess, characteristics of cells, that all cells are composed or created from other living cells. Well, the $1,000,000 question, where did the first cell came from? We have a vague answer for Earth, but that relies on volcanoes and lightning, storms. Have you heard this theory?
It's the primordial soup, right?
Yeah, basically there are all these charges floating around, and lightning struck them in the middle of this lava heat mixture, and it more or less forced these atoms and molecules to bond to one another, and this chain of molecules that was created had carbon in it, which is the foundation of life, and it just so happened that this chain could reproduce from the
Yeah. So there are ice volcanoes. So yes, there is going to be heating.
But the thing is, I wonder if they still need energy from the sun to kickstart things.
I don't know, because another theory is that
Because
life
life,
started around hydrothermal vents.
yeah,
That's another theory. But I mean, you also have to think that, you know, life started here on Earth really quickly. The minute conditions were right, boom, life started. So it's like, if life can start here so damn easily, what's to say that it didn't start on Mars at some point? What's to say that it's not on Europa? And what's to say that it's not on Titan?
yeah.
Which is the whole what am I thinking? It's the Fermi paradox. What's the set of what's the probability for calculating extraterrestrial life? What's that equation?
The Dirac equation.
The what?
No, the Drake equation.
Right, and that comes from the Drake equation brings up what paradox?
Oh, I don't recall.
It brings up a paradox. Uh, is it the Fermi paradox?
Yeah, yeah. Fermi paradox.
No, I don't want the game. I just want Fermi paradox. It's the conflict between lack of clear, obvious evidence. Yeah, so yeah, I was right. So it is the Drake
Yeah, so
equation.
Fermi paradox ponders why Earth has not been visited by aliens, and the Drake equation estimates how many intelligent civilizations are in our galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fermi paradox is like, well, if all these civilizations exist, why have none visited Earth?
Yeah. Maybe we'll discuss this in the fourth segment. This could be good. For the time being, we need to keep moving on to spare your voice. New segment time. Your comments. Okay, let's take a look here, shall we? Go away, go away. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the latest comments. Did we do that one? Did we do all the ice cream to whipped cream comments? Since we're almost
Ooh.
like, huh?
I don't know. I don't
Obviously,
recall.
well, anyways, Team Nazir commented, "Cookie with Mr. Sheep." I commented, "Long time no hear, my friend." And he's like, "Blame it on school." You know what? I vaguely remember us going over these.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the gaming channel. Hey, look at that! We're at 17 subscribers. That's awesome. I mean, I wish it were better. All right, let's switch to. Oh, I guess there's a better way to get to the gaming channel. So there's a comment by Zany Bree commented, "Just here to remind you to never give up on your dreams, and you'll make it big one day. I believe in you, and I love you." Well, thank you, Zany Bree. Let's reply. I can't heart things.
I love you too.
Thank you. Oh, because I'm not logged in on the right account for that. That's why. Anyways, oh, this is on Superstructure Done, Minecraft 87. I'm building a skyscraper.
Well, that's the need to make the comment, right?
I love to comment. Iron Farm Done, Bedrock Let's Play 19. Oli Dings commented, "Nice video. Thank you." Are there Is there anything on this one? No, this is just a live stream. This one. Ah, okay. You told me to do this, Minecraft 86. So I made a bet with the schmucks that if they wanted me to stream me making a video, and I told them that's a bad idea. You won't watch. They did watch one episode, and that was it. Anyways, Team Nazir commented on, you told me to do this, Minecraft 86. Team Nazir commented, building is getting huge. How many more episodes do you think? Hard to say. I'd say at least 1 or 2 to finish the exterior. The floors are going to take forever. I have to do some, I have to do. Okay, I can't read my own fucking, damn it. I'll have to, whatever. Ryan Orange commented, yeah. What a crap comment. Anyways, no wonder they don't comment and watch. Just straight up just say crap comment. Oh boy. Oh, no wonder. No wonder. Are there any comments on this one? No. Alright, I think that's all the comments. So, future of the channel, right? So, stop streaming for the time moment. So, future of the channel. I've got some ideas. Oh no, it closed my, it closed. Oh no, File Explorer, please don't crash everything. Thank you. Oh, I was really concerned File Explorer was just gonna crash everything. And I'd be back up to square one. I don't know what my computer's problem is. I'll do a nice little restart for it after this.
How often do you restart your computer?
Huh?
How often do you restart your computer?
Not as much as I should.
Do you have Windows 11?
No.
No?
It hasn't asked me to get it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm concerned that my motherboard...
My computer has.
Well, see, that's where I'm concerned. I'm concerned that my computer doesn't have the hardware for it. Because you need a...
Would you still recommend it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm so confused on Windows 11 that I don't know. Anyways, so I'm looking at the schedule here, okay? And we've got all the way into May here. And then on June 4th, I've got, it did save any of my, God damn it. When it crashed, it didn't save any of my crap. Hold on. I think I can access, nope, history is, okay, never mind. It wiped all of my freaking work. That's just, love my life. Love my life. Love my life.
That's good.
Okay. Anyways, so I had on June 4th, now that's been wiped, I'll have to go and re-add it all. I had on June 4th, our trip out west. That's what we're going to record that weekend. Might as well, right? Might as well get a vlog while we're out there. And then June 18th is Phases of Matter. And then that is the
again?
Huh?
Again?
Well, I mean, yeah, because it's like, why not? It's an old video. It's an old series of videos.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
You can't do it too sick. No, it's an old series of videos that could probably stand to be updated. And why not, right? Get some more dry ice again. Oh man, God, that footage just, jeez, that feels like that's such a long time ago.
What year?
So that would have been oh my god. That was high school.
2016? 2017?
Well, 2017 was the earliest we started the channel, so it's either 2017 or 2018. Hard to remember which summer. Oh, it was summer of 2017. Yep.
So it was after you graduated? No, junior year.
It was my junior. It was between my junior and senior year.
Yes.
I'm 99% sure.
That was a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago. Actually, yeah, like we just talked about, the channel's coming up on 5 years, and we gotta do a big old stream about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about. So, after trip vlog. So, after the Phases of Matter video, July is a clean slate. I was originally thinking I would do these chemistry videos in June. Looks like I'm doing them in July and August. Not exactly desirable, but it'll work. So my idea is I want to do a bromine synthesis. I talked to you about this, but I'm telling the people. I want to do a bromine synthesis. And then I'll do like a video or two. Like, I'm going to make the bromine. And depending on how much bromine I'm able to synthesize, I'm going to look to see if there's a faster way to generate bromine using electrolysis. Or if there's a faster way to just make bromine in general. Because since I'll have actual glassware, I might try and look at something that isn't just electrolysis. Because my power supply, it's great. But it just doesn't push. It doesn't push enough volts.
What is 12?
I don't even know if it's that high. It's in this box. I don't know. It's not very high. It's not a lot of volts.
Amps? How much current?
I don't know. Well, current's gonna be determined. Well, so current's determined by volts and your resistance.
Yeah, but you can force current into something and let the voltage climb.
Yeah, but my voltage only goes so high. Oh, let's take a look here, shall we? Switch power supply user manual. A high efficiency switching power supply. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Digital display. Which one do I have? Oh god. This doesn't tell me which one this is. I think it's the 15 volt I think it's the 15 volt model. Because like they have a range, just series of switching power supply, and it's got like a list of things. I think this is the 15. I think this is the 15. I have no way of knowing without, plugging it in. I think it's the 15. So, yeah, not very powerful at all. So I was thinking of, like, I wonder if, I wonder if using, like, well, I guess 15 volts is more than a car battery. And it's probably going to be more than my battery charger. I don't know. It just felt like it wasn't making as much as I would like it to be. And I'm curious to see,
Well, see, that's why I asked what the current limit is. Because, see, if you try to charge something like a battery, it's going to draw some current. Well, if it can't draw a super high current, it'll take forever to charge.
True. So let me look to see what the current limit is on this. Looks like, oh god, 10 amps.
1 an amp or 10?
10 amps.
That's still quite a bit.
Yeah, but you need a lot more amps for electrolysis to be.
Oh, do you?
Huh?
Do you?
10 amps isn't a lot.
Well, it depends what you're trying to charge.
What? Yeah. I mean, for batteries, 10 amps might be a lot, but for electrolysis, I
yes
don't
and
think
no.
it is.
Yes and no. For some stuff, it's hardly anything. And for some stuff, it'll do. And for other stuff, it's perfectly fine.
I guarantee you, your car, when you turn it on and the alternator is running at 24 volts, I guarantee, and then I don't even know how many amps, way more than 10 amps, can push, do a lot more. Which I wonder if, it probably wouldn't be good for it, but I wonder if my jump starter might work.
Jumpstart your car?
Well, no, use it as a power supply. I wonder if I set it to the highest setting, because it's going to be pushing, 1100 amps at, I don't know how many volts, but over 12 probably. It's pushing a lot of amps, and at higher voltage than that thing can do it, it could generate a lot of bromine very quickly.
The only thing I will say is that be careful what kind of leads you're using. Make sure your leads are capable of withholding 10 amps.
Well, I mean, what I had before worked.
Yeah.
I would probably want something a bit more robust, and I wonder how many amps do you think rods of graphite can withstand.
No idea.
Yeah.
It is beyond my realm of expertise.
Yeah, I wonder.
Which is slim to none.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll figure it out. If it takes 8 hours to make, a few grams of bromine, so be it. I'll figure something out. I'll see what I can do. See if I can make a better way of making bromine. And then I can make the bromine, purify the bromine in one video, and then I'll do a series of experiments with said bromine in another video. Okay. No. Oh, sorry. Word was asking me questions that I didn't know if I wanted to agree to. Anyways, so I don't know. And then we'll do a video, or maybe two, I don't know, probably one video of just like using the bromine for reactions. I know the big finale will be reacting it with aluminum, because that's supposed to be a violent reaction. But curious to see what else I can react it with. What about magnesium? I have magnesium strips. Why not try it? I also have aluminum powder. That sounds dangerous. Like, aluminum foil is dangerous. Aluminum powder is probably a whole new level. I don't know where I'd want to stand for that, because just the fumes and crap are going to be so toxic and dangerous. I don't know how to remotely do this. I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then there'll be like 2 videos of that. And then alcohol. And you know who I figured out who would try alcohol that I made?
Will.
Well, his mom won't let me do that. But you know who's even better than Will?
A former roommate?
No. They wouldn't try it. They're too big of wusses.
No idea.
My dad.
Ah,
He would definitely
Really?
take a absolutely he'd take a shot of alcohol that I made. I guarantee it. That or I could get your mom to do it.
yeah, she doesn't drink Everclear.
We'll mix it with something. Make a margarita with it. Very crappy margarita made
It's
with the wrong
practically
type of
just
alcohol.
ethanol.
It will be ethanol because it'll be made. It'll be lab settings, so this will be pure ethanol pretty much. This will be made in a lab setting, so it's probably going to be pretty close to pure ethanol.
And this isn't exactly how do I put this legal?
No, it's completely legal. You can make alcohol. They sell beer kits and alcohol distilling kits.
You can brew beer, but it's illegal to distill alcohol. Brewing is legal, distilling is illegal.
I thought it was just the sale of it. You can't sell. You can make as much as you want. You just can't sell.
Oh, look it up. I'm pretty sure distilling is illegal.
What? No. YouTubers do it all the time. People do it literally all the time.
Yeah, illegally.
Let's look this up here. Illegal. Federal law provides no exemptions for the production of distilled spirits for personal or family use. No circumstances should an individual ever distill or sell alcohol without a permit. If an individual chooses to distill alcohol, make sure to obtain applicant fuel to spirit, whatever. Point is, the federal law provides no exemptions for the production of distilled spirits. Wait, what does it mean by no? Wait.
Means you can't do it.
Ah.
There's no exemptions.
Oh, it is illegal. Oh, well.
I told you.
I don't care. I'll take a fine. Damn it.
On camera.
Well, they also
You
don't.
can't take that one to court.
Oh, well. I'm not going to take it to court. But plead guilty. Did you make alcohol? Yeah.
Yeah, watch my video. Yes. Yeah, that's how you do that.
That's how you get views.
Watch my video.
That's how you
Watch
get
my video.
views. But I don't
Yeah,
understand.
it'll be like that Big Bang Theory when Sheldon gets pulled over. Do you know how fast you're going? 106 miles an hour.
Well, maybe I'll get my license then.
So you'll get a license.
I'll have to look into it, but why not? Get a
Yeah,
license.
maybe they'll let you get it over Zoom.
Well, I'll just go to the Capitol. Whatever. The point is, just get the. The point is, YouTubers make it all the time. No one's ever really gotten in trouble. No cop's gonna arrest you unless you sell it. No one really gives a crap.
You hope. You don't know what they do off camera. I'm just saying. I just wanted you to be informed.
Oh well, I don't care. I'm gonna make alcohol. I don't give a crap. If they want to arrest me, so be it. It'll be a fun video. And yes. It says consumption though. Oh no, just distilling in general is illegal. Damn it. Trying to say there's a loophole. Like nobody consumed it. Well, it doesn't say you can't distill methanol. What if we just stop?
So no one can drink it.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's the same idea. We just make methanol instead of ethanol, and no one's the wiser.
Well, no one drinks it, yeah.
I mean, well, it's illegal to distill ethanol. So I'm going to distill methanol and just stop.
Yeah. And then put it and see if your car will start.
No, they don't use methanol. They use actual ethanol.
I thought there was I thought they put methanol or something.
They put methanol in it That's heat. That's what you put in your car to keep it from like.
See, I was thinking they put something in it. That way it doesn't have to be taxed or there's no like alcohol tax, so they can sell it cheaper. The reason why you can't just get gasoline and just straight up drink it, I thought was because they put methanol in it, so it's poisonous.
But there's also I don't know, gasoline in it.
I thought there was something.
It's gonna kill E85 is gonna kill you. You're
Or
gonna
maybe
drink
it's
E85.
isopropanol alcohol or something. Is that ethanol and
No,
ethanol?
it's isopropanol.
I thought there was some. I could have swore there was some loophole how they put methanol in it, so it could not be used for consumption, so they could sell it cheaper.
Methanol is a fuel additive that you can buy. As to whether they put it in fuel in general, I don't know. Because I know you can buy methanol to add it to your fuel so that your car can start in the winter. But as for whether they sell it just straight up in there, I don't know. Either way, I don't know. It's still got gasoline in it, so you're gonna die. Period. E85 dead. So isopropanol is poisonous in general, but there's also other crap in there that's dangerous that they put in there. Methanol turns to acetone in your liver, so kudos to you for drinking it. By all means. Yeah, so there's that. That's why you go blind from methanol, is the pools in your eyes.
And how do you ensure that the ethanol you're producing has no methanol?
We're not going to produce ethanol.
Oh, well, in the distilling process, how would you?
Oh, great question. Maybe we'll just make the fourth segment all about ethanol. No, okay, I'll just quick. So, methanol has a different boiling point than ethanol. And so, as you're watching your temperature, you'll notice that it gets stuck at a certain temperature. And that's because it's currently working on that whatever alcohol you're trying to distill over. And so, it'll get stuck at the boiling point of methanol for quite some time. And so, you let it boil over, you let the temperature rise, and then it gets to the temperature of ethanol, and you let some of that boil over. As to how much, you don't want to boil too much over because then you're going to lose a lot of your product. But you don't want to boil too little, and there'll still be methanol. There'll still be some ethanol in it to make it poisonous. So you have to be careful. It's not really. In this.
You think you're an expert?
The original idea. Now we're just making methanol, not ethanol. In the original idea was, I'm not really going for quantity. I'm just going for, can I do it? So I would have a substantial head that I would throw away, just to make sure that it's safe. Because I'd rather not poison my dad and then poison you. Poison my dad, not you. But I'd rather not make my dad blind, so.
Yeah.
Or Will or anybody. That's why I said, it's like, when I want you to try it, it's like, I swear to God, I'm taking the precautions to make sure that it's not methanol. I'll even find a way to test to make sure it's the ethanol. It's more ethanol than methanol in it. I'd even buy like a little test to do that. Because, I don't want to make this and kill somebody. But now, as I know it's completely illegal, for all intents and purposes, we're just going to make methanol.
Yes.
News segment time. Random fourth topic. So, life in the universe. I'm sure we've talked about this many times on the podcast, and we will talk about it many times later. The Drake equation. in your opinion, which
Yeah.
so I watched a video on it, and
Oh, so that's why you brought it up.
well, yeah, that's why it popped in my head. I watched a video on it, and let's take a look here. Which do you think? So, like, we know R, we know F, we know N, and we're not sure about F L or FI or FE or L. But we can kind of assume that planets that support life, that if the conditions are right, they're going to be there. So we can kind of assume that FL, the variable that determines the fraction of life supporting planets that develop life, is near 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the fraction of intelligent species that develop communication, they don't really touch that one. It's not as important as fraction of planets where life develops intelligence. Oh no, sorry. It's the length of time that the civilizations are that communicate. It's basically, well, I don't remember which. Anyways, it really comes down to the Great Filter. Has humanity made it to the Great Filter yet? What do you think? Are we past it, or do you think we have still yet to?
What is the Great Filter?
This would be the one that prevents us from talking to extraterrestrial life or exploring the universe.
So you're asking if
That
we
would
will?
So, like, have we already passed it and we're on the right path to doing these things, or like it's just a matter of time? It's not a matter of will society end before then. It's a matter of when, not if. Or do you think it's still a matter of if, not when?
I believe we have the potential.
Well, so like
The thing about visiting other life forms, or potential planets that could have life forms, ultimately requires a faster mode of transportation,
okay.
which we're still developing.
So the Drake
And
equation is
it
all
needs to
about
be down to.
communicating.
Oh, so you're asking if we'll ever communicate?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with communication is that communication still travels at the speed of light.
Right. But
There's
like
nothing within, like, a couple light years away that we could talk to, I don't believe.
that we don't know.
Everything I believe. And so, I don't know, in my opinion, everything is too far away for us to talk to them. And by the time that our message does reach them, their civilization has already ceased, or a civilization is not advanced yet to interpret the message.
Okay.
And yes.
So do you think our civilization will crumble before another civilization hears our message? Or do you think we will crumble before we ever hear anybody else's message?
Yeah. Yes. To all. And
So
in
you
fact,
think we
I'm
haven't-
almost on the fence that I don't even know if I really believe in another civilization as complex as our own.
do you think we're the first aliens?
I think we are the first and only. I don't know.
I can't.
It's a weird thing to think about, but I'm kind of on that fence.
I don't think in the entire. So are in the okay. Are you talking Milky Way galaxy or the entire observable universe?
Entire observable universe.
I
believe
that
we are the only. Well, it's difficult to say, but the only complex, intelligent, understanding life form.
I guess my next question is, do you think the universe is teeming with life, though?
I believe there could be life, like molecules,
Right. I'm
but
talking like
but nothing
cells.
as advanced and complex as us.
What makes you what puts you on the fence that in the entire observable universe, all 90 billion light
Or
years.
just my beliefs of with just the Bible and I kind of more or less fundamentally shaped the way I view it. Yeah.
Ah, I just, I mean, even with the probabilities being so low, the idea that there's no other civilizations hell within the galaxy, let alone the universe.
Because I guess the other thing is, think about it this way. Why would something even need to evolve to be as complex as us? Everything evolves to fit its niche purpose in life, to serve its common good, to get enough food and energy to survive. Why would anything ever need to evolve beyond the needs to satisfy its basic needs?
Well,
Because after you satisfy your basic needs, there is no more purpose to doing anything.
that's
Why would any organism need to evolve past that point?
but that's what the whole that the that the planet develops intelligent life with the ability to communicate. People have different ideas of what intelligent life means. Some people say an octopus or a crow would be considered intelligent life, or a dolphin, as would a human be considered intelligent life. So, do you think there are dolphins and crows? You just don't think there's. So, would you believe that there are other dolphins and crows in the universe?
Yeah, there's some. I could believe there could be something as complex as that, but nothing beyond that. Nothing that has the reasoning power that we do to create things beyond the basic need for survival.
Do you think
Anything beyond a weapon is not necessary for survival.
do you think there will be anything in the universe? Well, it's a big universe, 90 billion light years. There's
Yeah, so you're asking
trillions
if
of
there's,
galaxies with septillions of stars.
but answer me this point. I believe it is unnecessary for anything to evolve past the point at which it satisfies its basic needs. Because after that, it's basically just wasting time and energy existing.
Which is where God comes into play, which is why humanity can continue to
Exactly.
go further.
Exactly. Which is why we are special.
So nothing will ever, not it won't be a matter of time. It's a matter just nothing ever.
Yeah. Because I believe that in an evolutionary standpoint, there's no reason for anything to reach our level.
I mean, humanity did, and that's where I have to look at. I'm like, but humanity.
Which is why I bring in the creation. I mean, if you refuse to accept creation, then yes, I guess humanity is a perfect example that evolution can reach this point. But you start to ask yourself, why did evolution bring us to this point?
So well,
Why was it evolutionary advantageous to go beyond your basic necessary needs of survival?
well, that came as a byproduct.
Exactly. It came as, but we're effectively just wasting energy and time existing,
Well,
doing our own thing.
it came as a byproduct. It started out as, hey, the jungle is receding. I need to be able to get food elsewhere, and so that's what caused us to leave the trees, because like there's food elsewhere.
Yeah.
And well, when the trees became more sparse, we need to go from one tree outpost to the next. And so we
Yes.
need to walk on two legs so that we could carry food from far away. And
Yes.
that also began to train our brains like, hey, what's that over there?
No, but the thing
That's where
is,
apes never
the
developed
thing
that, because
is,
apes never had to leave the trees. They stayed in the trees, and they never had to go out and carry things and think, what's beyond that?
but the thing is, our brains had a massive brain spurt, which is unknown. Why was evolutionary advantageous? I guess, maybe in terms of abstract thinking. I mean, that's the reasoning they give. But I don't know if that really that doesn't settle well with me. Just saying, just because the brain is so complex. Just the simple act of just growing bigger, that I don't know, just to grow bigger meant that we could form more complex thoughts to
Well,
live.
bigger doesn't
But
mean
the thing
anything.
is that we develop these thoughts to live, so that way we would have to use less energy to live. But then it's like we're just sitting around wasting time. We're not doing anything.
Right, but by that point we had agriculture.
No. Before that, when we were just painting in caves, we're not really doing anything with our time. I mean, that's all we're doing is just kind of just wasting energy,
We didn't have.
waiting for the days to
That's the
go
thing, though,
by.
because by that point we were cooking food, and so we had the energy to waste. By the
But
time,
it's like,
so by
why was
that
it?
point, we were
Why
cooking
is it
food.
evolutionary advantageous to reach that point to where you're just wasting energy existing?
It was a
Because to me,
byproduct. Again, it's a byproduct
exactly.
of what
But to me,
happened. We developed the
but to
ability
me,
to cook
wasting
food.
energy is not. I don't know. It seems like society would almost de-evolve because it wants to ride a line of what is of using the minimal amount of energy to exist.
But unfortunately, what happens is that we figured out how to cook food, and that left us with way more nutrients than we had ever needed. And that's where I'm kind of like, I'm thinking the fact that when we figured out how to cook food, we now had energy that we didn't have before, but we didn't need it. And with such a big brain, and with the ability to already, like, we were already starting to formulate kind of like,
No,
what's
but see, the thing
beyond.
is that all those excess calories, rather than just excreting them, they were used to fill our brain. And I'm not exactly sure why.
Because I was trying to explain to you. Because
No,
what
after the
happened was
trees.
this is after the trees. We're in the caves. We're cooking food, right?
Yeah.
And right, we're cooking food. We're eating food, and we have this excess amount of energy. And
Yes.
it's like, and we had the brains that were already fine tuned to like
No.
exploring
This is
things.
before we reached our. This is so the point that the part that I'm stuck on. So yes, I get a brain boost to reach that point, but our brains kept growing beyond the point after we made fire. They kept growing, and to me, after we've made fire, I don't really see the reason for
I
it to
think
be
it was a
advantageous for everything to keep growing.
I think it's a runaway effect.
You think so?
I think what happened was the brain was already complex enough that we were starting to question, that's why we left the trees. That's why we began to explore the globe, because by the time what you're saying, we were living in caves, we were and making paintings and eating food with fires, we were starting to explore the world. And the fact that we had already started exploring and we made this cooked food, now it was a runaway and it exploded. And the Neanderthals are an example of what you're trying to say. Shouldn't they need to evolve back? We did. We had bigger and potentially smarter versions of us, but
Well, no,
they couldn't
it's a
sustain
bigger brain,
themselves.
but in terms of processing power, I still believe like we are a more intelligent version of our predecessors.
But Neanderthals
Our
aren't
brains are more
predecessors.
efficient. What?
Neanderthals aren't predecessors to humans.
They, in a way, they are. We do have Neanderthal DNA in us.
Right. They evolved parallel to us.
Yes. No. They evolved parallel to our ancestors, Homo sapiens. We are Homo sapiens sapiens. We have Neanderthal DNA in us. We share a common ancestor with Neanderthals and Homo sapiens.
The Neanderthal DNA is from mating with Neanderthals.
And Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. They coexist at the same time and mated with each other.
Right. And they both had
But I'm saying our brains are more complex than them.
right, because we were smaller. Right?
Yes.
So back then, before the new sapiens, okay, now that I know that, here's my new theory. Before then, I would vote that the Neanderthals were smarter than our direct ancestors.
It's possible.
I think they were smarter. Issue is, they were too big and their brains required too much energy. And so they got wiped out. And since we're still in an ice age, we had to get smarter and more efficient because being smarter had already proven to be better. We had fire, we had weapons. So smarter was already a beneficial thing.
But to me, it's not that hard to figure. It's not that hard to figure out. Oh, it's cold. Let me move away from the cold. There's animals living in the Arctic. There's animals that have already evolved to handle extreme cold.
Right, but we were chasing food, and we chased food.
Yes, but there's other animals out there that are still hunting other animals. There's still animals living off of other animals in the Arctic. So
Right.
It's not sufficient to say it's solely because of chasing food, because other animals are still hunting other animals to food. We don't see them flying rocket ships to moons.
Right, but that's the thing. By the time
Because animals have been around, any animal in general has been hunting and gathering food for eons. That's the basic necessary component of life. And so to me, just the simple act of, oh, I need to be smarter so I can hunt is not sufficient to me because every organism in our world does that.
Right, but no one I think the next step, I think it's in that chemistry book I'm reading actually, was copper.
Continue.
So we went from stone to copper. And I think that's where we made the leap, is that we picked up a rock of copper and realized, hey, this is way better than stone. We're no longer spending time breaking
But I'm
stones.
saying there needs to be
and
something.
so we're saving more time.
But the thing is, there needs to be something fueling our evolution beyond just hunting and gathering. Because just saying we had to get smarter to hunt, every animal out there evolved to hunt.
I think
there needs to be something else.
There needs to be some effect.
I don't buy that though. I don't buy that because it never happened with any other animal.
Because they never got that far.
There's 7 billion organisms that existed before us. Nothing ever came close to us.
Right, because
And so the
only
runaway
other
effect just
thing that
doesn't
was
make
close
sense.
to us was too big and got wiped out.
Because think about it this way: there were our common ancestor of the apes, whatever that species was. The species that transitioned into gorillas, they didn't evolve anywhere near us.
That's because they didn't need to. It's all a probability act. Some apes stayed in the trees and they did just fine. Others left and we benefited.
The runaway effect just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't settle well with me.
What? It's just there was a some apes left the trees, some stayed. And it's all a probability act. And that's what the whole Drake equation is about. It's all probability. The probability that an ape decides to leave the trees and that and they don't die from predators and they benefit from
No,
this.
no, but no, but you're not understanding. The reason why intelligence would need to keep advancing. Why would intelligence need to keep advancing? There is
Right.
no
By
reason
that
because
point,
because think about it. Intelligence was a random mutation. That means this random mutation kept happening. It's a random mutation that kept happening. It's not to me. It does not seem random if it keeps happening and
how does
happening.
it?
It's not random anymore.
Well, that's with anything.
But nothing has advanced like us with a random
But
mutation
it's a
that's
mutation.
not really.
You can compare it to any other mutation. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
but no, you
it's a
can't.
random mutation.
No, but this random mutation kept happening.
It keeps happening with other random mutations happen with other things.
But what? But they're not advancing
It,
because
but
because think about it this way.
but
Right, there
we're
was this random
comparing. I'm
mutation for the
comparing. I'm trying to compare
there's this random
mutations to
mutation for
mutations.
this there was this random mutation for the brain to get smarter, right? For the brain
Right.
to evolve, and that created one new
And
species.
it
But it
benefited.
happened. It kept happening. It kept happening. It to me, that's not random anymore.
It's if the mutation is good and it benefits the species, it persists.
No, to me, it's not
Intelligence
benefiting.
persists.
It's negligible.
I think
It
did.
serves no
By the time
purpose.
the mutation happens, our brains were already starting to, they were kind of primordial brains. They were
Because even
already
if
working on the ground floor for what could be something that can do mathematics and can explore
because
the
to me,
universe.
no, but the thing is, it's not beneficial because it has no enemies. We have no enemies. Why is it beneficial for us to get smarter? If you have
But by the
no
time that we had no enemies,
No, no, no,
I
no.
think the
We
mutation
had no
happened
enemies before
after.
we even reached that point. If we have weapons and intelligence, a basic level of intelligence, we have no enemies. We are at the top of the food chain. There is no benefit to becoming better.
We can still get killed.
No, I don't. Yes, but the vast majority of your population will not.
Right.
It is not beneficial if you're at the top of your food chain. We're at the top of our food chain by the time we had fire and weapons. We're at the top of our food chain.
Right.
To me, it's not beneficial because there is no hierarchy to where we already were, so it's not beneficial.
Unless the only thing I could see here being is if Neanderthals had also potentially had agriculture as well. Like
And after the
primitive-
Neanderthals died out, that was 50,000 years ago. That was anatomically modern humans. That is not modern humans. Ergo, we kept advancing.
right.
We were at the top of the food chain
But if
after the Neanderthals
agriculture
were gone.
existed at 50,000 years, if Neanderthals also had primitive agriculture in some way, it is likely to believe that our needs have already been met. And so
But we kept advancing.
Right, because we already had spare time before the mutation happened. We had time.
So why would we need to evolve to be smarter?
The mutation randomly happened, as you said, and it was beneficial because we had free time.
It was not benefit because think about it. This random mutation had to happen in a very small percentage of a population, and it had to have been substantial enough to be reproduced amongst every other organism against the organisms that did not have this mutation.
Right.
Because think about it, there's
to
basically
believe that the species with the human, this early human with this mutation, was able to farm.
Why is he more likely
and do better than his surrounding counterparts?
No, but why is he more likely to reproduce though? Every human out there has no enemies. No. This one guy is separate from everyone else. All right. Why is this one civilization more likely to reproduce than any other civilization?
They got more food, more resources.
Not that much more. It's not like it was that big of a jump.
It doesn't matter. It's the same reason. Why the hell did our teeth? Why did these things get smaller?
Because we kept losing our teeth. We kept losing our teeth, and so it was no longer advantageous. And so it was more advantageous to grow new teeth, so you could consume more food, so you could stay alive longer to reproduce. It all comes down to reproduction. We had to have more teeth come in later.
No, but these incisors.
Yes,
They got
because
smaller.
we were losing
We don't know
teeth.
why. Because in chimps, the bigger the teeth, the more fierce you are, and the more likely you are to be mated with.
Well, think about it.
We
Okay,
don't
fine. If they're
understand why in
smaller,
humans it got smaller.
maybe because if it got smaller, they reach that point. And so now you can consume more calories for a longer period of time because you still have your teeth. And so that means you can live past the
Do you know this for sure, though?
previous.
That's why the smaller
It
teeth
all
also allow
I'm
them
saying
to
it all
consume
has
more
to come
food?
back to reproduction. I'm
No,
saying
but, like, do you know
whatever
for
the reproduction.
do you know for certain that's why the teeth got smaller? Because
this
from
is
what
my
I was
theory.
told,
This is my
scientists
theory.
don't know.
And well, they probably don't know, but that doesn't stop me from forming a hypothesis.
But that wasn't a hypothesis any scientist ever made, because it was never thought because being
So you
bigger
have to
and
perform an
tougher
experiment.
was more advantageous than eating food at the time.
So why can't I form a hypothesis?
Well, I'm not.
I'm forming a
just saying,
hypothesis.
I'm just saying though that I just.
Who are you to tell me I can't form a hypothesis
No,
about something no one else has an answer to?
I'm just saying though your hypothesis that you've made to support your other hypotheses later is flawed, and therefore it can't support your other
how is it
hypotheses.
flawed?
Because
How?
the majority of science says that's not what happened. Yes, I understand it's possible that is exactly what happened. But in chimps, in what we see in nature, that doesn't
Things
compute.
evolve for different reasons. Why something got smaller
Right,
could be
okay.
for a
So
completely
humans
different
evolved
reason.
for different reasons. We got smarter for different reasons.
But it had to have been, everything has to have been for a reproductive purpose.
Right.
Everything has to,
Being
because
smarter
that means
is reproductively more advantageous because it allows you to
no,
get
because you
food
have no
more
enemies.
efficiently.
We had no enemies. We have no enemies to kill the ones that do not have that mutation.
I'm talking within the human race. I'm talking within society.
That doesn't count though, because there's nothing to kill off all the others. So all the others are still reproducing and advancing. You have.
I'm
think about it this way.
sorry. Humans have been killing humans for millennia because they're different.
No. But I'm talking about before that, right? When we had. This is before Neanderthals and all that. When we were just cave people, right? We had no enemies. We're at the top of the food chain. It's not advantageous to get smarter.
Said that the mutation happened, after that.
No, I'm talking about it did, but there's no reason for it to even happen in the first place, is my point.
It's a random mutation.
No, but there's no reason for it to be a reproductive advantage.
By that point, it was reproductively advantaged because society was starting to form. You had the building blocks; it was all there. You just needed somebody.
No, but
who
why
was
is it
smarter than
advantageous?
everybody else.
Why? Why is it advantageous to be smarter than everyone else for reproductive purpose if you have no enemies?
Because humans fight humans. That's what we've done for millennia. And you think primitive humans didn't fight each other? Of course they fought each other.
So you're saying this one human that had this advanced gene killed off every human or reproduced to have enough people to kill off every other human that did not have this advanced gene.
He didn't need to. If you're smarter than everybody else, you can convince people who would be as smart as you. Maybe they're still dumber.
But to me, there is. We
I
already
think it's
know.
possible. I don't think.
I don't.
And what you're suggesting is not possible. But what really happened was you had somebody who was smarter than everyone else. He was able to get food. That made people jealous. But he had people around him that liked him. His family members who were likely to have that gene potentially in them. This is recessive. It's not dominant yet. Okay? So you had people around this guy or woman or whatever who was likely that saw like, hey, this guy's pretty beneficial. And so they stuck with him. All right? And they were able to progress better. And since humans are humans and they kill each other, the other people are like, hey, he's got more food. I want that food. And they go to try and take it from him. But since he has more food and he's smarter, they were able to overcome the other humans. And those genes were able to persist on. Because they were able to fight the other humans off. And they were able to persist on. That gene was able to pass on. If you're not with them,
But see,
you're
this
against
only supports. But see, the only way that could possibly work is if this one gene made him vastly smarter. Not just a little bit, but a significant margin. And to me,
we've seen it.
What do you mean we've seen it?
I mean, every leader ever, you don't have to be smarter than everybody else. It's the whole foundation of economics. It's the whole foundation of the social construct and why we have society the way it is.
If you don't need to be smarter to be a leader, then why did the smarter gene have to evolve? You just said we don't have to be smarter to be a leader.
Intelligence was a byproduct of what was happening.
But there's no reason for it. It's not a byproduct. Intelligence is not a byproduct. It does not have to be. You just said you do not have to be smarter to be a leader. Ergo, it's not a byproduct.
Maybe
if you don't have to be smart to be a leader, it's not a byproduct.
I don't know about then. You had to be more cutting. You had to be able to look at. You have to be. Your brain has to be just wired different. Whether that's, it depends how you measure intelligence. Maybe not smarter in mathematics, but EQ wise. He could have been the first human with an EQ. That's measurable. And
every animal has an EQ. It's emotional, right? Every animal has an emotional intelligence.
Okay. An EQ that's actually significant.
Dolphins, actually, I think, are more significant than humans.
Right, but dolphins also don't have a complex society, and they don't have to go to work, and they also don't have hands.
Exactly. To me, that's a much better life than I'm living.
Right, but this was a byproduct. The life we live now is a byproduct of progress. Listen,
to me, it's not advantageous. To me, this life is not advantageous.
Currently. But back in the day, the fact that we have the ability to just sit around and BS is fantastic.
It's a waste. It's a waste of evolution is what it is.
It didn't have to be. It wasn't a waste back then.
It was, to me, in my opinion, it was a waste. And the reason why it was a waste, and the reason why it was a byproduct is because of creationism. The only way it could have been a byproduct is if creationism set something it initiated something.
I think
made it a byproduct.
I think the random mutation allowed one of the humans to rise above and allowed him to organize.
But the reason why this gene was persistent and became a byproduct is because of creation. It was led. There was some external force guiding it.
I think this
Do you
gene,
really think, though? Are you just saying, or do you really think?
This is what I really think. I think this gene allowed somebody to rise above everyone else. That's exactly how people get into power. Something about them, whether they have access to resources that we didn't have access to, allows them to rise above everyone else. And since this gene allows them to be, so they had some sort of pretext, either more food his family had, something. And then it just so happened, hey, he has a random mutation. Now he understands how to organize people. He has food. He has more resources than the other people. And so now he's able to hey, you want this food? I need you to do things for me. And if you do these things for me, we'll protect you. It's the social contract, which is the foundation of government. And that's exactly what happened. And it's why the gene persists. Because the ability to organize other people, and then once you're living in this organized society, intelligence can then persist because you have people who do their thing and people that do their other thing. And once you have people specialized, production can skyrocket. If you have somebody who's good at agriculture, and that's all they should do. They should do just agriculture. And back then, that's what they did. And so if you had people who were smart and could figure out, how to organize people, that's what they did. They organized people. Specialization. And
I
to
don't
get
believe people are
specialization to happen,
sorry, wait, hold up. Were you saying people are naturally born to be specialized?
no.
Could,
Yes, because some people are just naturally better at things. Some people are naturally better or more athletic. Some people are naturally more intelligent.
Because to me, part of that is just background. I want to say that any human born under any circumstance
No.
could be at some level, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what talent you have. It matters how hard you worked with that talent.
No.
It does.
People are there.
Hard work.
There is
Hard
no.
work beats out talent any day.
I'm telling you this right now. Somebody who is 5'4", no matter how hard they work, no matter how much they push, if somebody who is 6'1" is going to be, it just has the genes to be faster, has the genes to be stronger, you're going to.
That is not necessarily true, though, because in fact, some of the strongmen who have won bodybuilding competitions are predominantly short.
Okay,
5'7",
but
5'8".
strength, but speed though. Let's talk speed because it's going to come down to leg length.
To
here,
me,
bud.
biologically, if you are taller, you have more air resistance. If I am
Okay,
shorter,
but anyways,
I have less air resistance.
But okay, let's come down to this though. The people in the Olympics, the fastest people have the longest legs.
But that's also a trained. They've been training forever.
You can't train to have longer legs though.
No. You don't need to. Actually, there was a study I read that biomechanically Usain Bolt should not be able to run as fast as he does.
Okay.
It is not necessarily there is a fine line between having long legs and having too long legs,
right.
because of air resistance.
All right.
And
The examples I'm picking are bad.
My point is, someone who was born naturally short can still be incredibly fast if they have been trained from birth. If they were born under those conditions, I believe they could still be trained to run and compete.
I hate to. Okay. All right. But there are some things that your genes are predisposed to what's going to happen. I'm sorry, but it is. It's nature versus nurture. I don't care how much nurturing you are. There are people in this world that are just simply never going to figure out calculus. Because their brains just are not wired that way.
I don't think that's fair to say. I don't think that's a fair statement to say.
I know somebody in freaking I knew a whole group of people in high school that you could spend decades trying to teach them the calculus and they would never figure it out.
I think it's a matter of the teacher.
No, these people, listen, for all credit, they function in society just fine. Well, some of them, they function in society just fine. Okay, the one guy's got 2 kids already. All right, whether whether he's able to properly take care of those kids is a different discussion for a different day. But you would never be able to teach him calculus. It's not in his brain. His brain just is not going to be wired correctly to do that.
But to me, it's more of an issue of.
I don't care how good of a teacher you are.
Need. I don't care. It's I don't care attitude. It's the attitude. He doesn't have the right attitude to care to learn the material. If he actually cared and dedicated himself, I believe if that is the first step to anything.
Either way, I still think there are people out there in this world that even if they had the right attitude, they're never going to learn calculus. Their brains just aren't wired there. They just don't have the genes to do it.
I don't. That does not sound like a fair statement to say.
There are people, I guarantee it. There are people in this world that no matter how much time and effort they put into it, they will never be able to learn it. They just can't. Their brains are not wired to do it. And there are people that can give so much dedication, so much time and effort, and they will never make it to the Olympics because their genes just do not allow them to do that. There are people that put in more time, more effort, more energy than like the best pro gamers. But they can't make it there because their genes don't allow them to have a fast enough reaction time. They might have a better skill, but they are just going to get shot out because they cannot react fast enough. A 16-year-old will be better than me. If I had devoted 35-year-old me devoted the next 10 years of my life to playing CSGO, a 16-year-old will probably still beat me. Because he has a fast
But how much are you really
time.
dedicating? Because think about it, 48 hours of your life, you're working. You're not doing anything to help that skill.
No. I'm saying if the next 10 years, I did 40 hours a week doing that, the 16-year-old will beat me.
Think. I think you'd make more progress than you're giving yourself credit for.
No, I've seen it. Ninja got beat out he didn't even make it past the second round in a giant Fortnite tournament. Because he is like 30, and these people are like 16 and 12. They're just faster. The studies have been done. They're just faster. He can't compete. He's a better player. By all means, he's a better player. He's just not fast enough. And so
you don't think if you were to practice with them, you would ever reach their level?
No, it's not about level. It's about who is faster.
Yeah, but my point is,
Ninja is better at the game than this 16-year-old by all accounts.
My point is, you don't think if you were to practice with them, he could ever rise above?
No, because they are always going to be faster. A 16-year-old will always beat out Ninja because he's that much faster.
Because to me, I get the speed thing, but to me, technique and skill, like let's say he could anticipate something before it even happened. It's
not enough.
Outbeat him.
It's not enough.
I want to say, I'm completely ignorant in this field, but I want to say it's possible for someone to just have enough skill to beat out speed.
That's what everybody thought. Everybody thought, oh, Ninja should win, or this person should win. They just have more skill.
But if they were to practice with speed, if they were to practice with someone in which they lose, then they would naturally figure out different skills that they had not figured out before to use against them.
They were 16 at one point. It doesn't matter. You're just too slow.
No, but you're not following though.
Because when it comes down to...
I think that everyone has a weakness though. Everyone has a weakness. There should be some skill that they can use to their advantage to overcome them. No matter the speed, there should be some aspect to their gameplay that they could be overtaken by some simple technique that they're not implementing.
Right. Here's the issue though. It comes down to you walk around a corner, he walks around a corner at the same time. It's a shootout.
But if there's another technique, though, I get that. Okay, I'm ignorant in the field, but I'm just saying though. I just feel like there's some technique that could be used to beat out speed any day.
Right, and that's what people thought. People had the same.
No, not that they thought that it still is out there. It still is possible.
It hasn't been seen yet.
I want to say it is.
It hasn't been seen yet. The best
I know it hasn't. I know it hasn't. I'm just saying, part of me wants to believe that. I get that you. And I will have to agree to disagree, but that's just where I'm stuck at.
I think in this case, biology is going to win out every time. And then again, we're coming down to people. Genes predispose you to certain things. Genes make you smarter than people. Genes make you faster. Genes make you stronger. Genes allow you to have fast twitch muscles. Genes allow you to have slow twitch muscles. Genes predispose people to things that there's just things in this world that you're never going to do because you just do not have the genes to do it. You're never going to run faster than Usain Bolt. I don't care how hard you try. There are people in this world that they just won't. They can't. The genes prevent their muscles and bones from working in a way that allows them to do it.
But the thing is, you're forgetting he had hard work. I'm saying if you have hard work and talent, you're unstoppable. But I'm saying if you have hard work, attitude, you'll beat out someone who has just talent that doesn't implement it and doesn't practice. That's the point I was trying to make.
Right, but I'm trying to make a level playing field here where everybody has the same efforts.
Well, then, yeah, obviously, someone who has talent and works at that will get better. But my point originally was, let's say someone who's just naturally a craft maker, right? And then someone who was just naturally maybe not very good at his hands, but from an early age, he was put into that life. He will naturally get better and better and be better than someone who is a natural craft maker who never practiced the skill.
Right. But back in the day, that's not how things worked. Well, kind of.
It could be, because your parents could decide what you're doing with your life.
Right.
Your parents decide, no, you're going to go out and hunt. You're going to go out and work in the mill.
When these roles were settled into, it was people who were better at hunting, survived at hunting, and brought back more food.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that maybe not necessarily what they're naturally good at, what they're naturally meant to. They're good at that because it's all they've been doing. But who's to say that's what their natural calling was for them?
What I'm saying is, they go out on this hunt. They die. They weren't good at it. We'll have no idea if they were going to be better at something else. We have no idea. They died.
No,
that's what happened.
No. I'm talking about from an early age. If that's all you did was learn how to go out and hunt, you will naturally be good at that. But who's to say that's what your natural calling was in life? Who's to say that's what you naturally could have been? You could have been excelled at something even more.
No, it didn't matter. What I'm saying is, if you were you went out and did it, you got killed because it didn't matter how hard you worked. Let's say you're just too heavy, and so your feet, when they hit the ground, they're too loud. The lion hits you. You're just not genetically disposed to do that. You can't do it. Or it's like you've been training, but you're not strong enough for that spear to plunge into the mammoth's neck, and so you die. That's what happened. If you couldn't do it, you died. And so you didn't get the chance to work harder. There wasn't a chance to do it. Because they did it by trial by fire. It wasn't really a work ethic. That didn't happen until later on. And people had freedoms. You had to be good at it, or you didn't do, or you died. Anyways, end of the podcast. We're way over time where we originally wanted to be. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Phil and I are just going to continue to disagree on this subject. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing he can say to convince us otherwise, unfortunately. And good night.